Welcome, friends and family. So excited to be here with you today from our Elevate studio. And I just want to remind everybody that Elevate is a faith-led coaching and mentorship program with an emphasis on leadership. And today, I have one of our great leaders here in our community with us, Mr. David Whitaker. David, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me, Elijah.
Absolutely. And so, guys, I just want to share a little bit about David. David was an educator for nearly 30 years. He worked at Finley School in Sparta, did a great job as a principal there, a leader there in that community, worked with a lot of children and a lot of teachers. And I love David. This is what I love about you, David, probably the most, is that you have a heart to educate people. And you're still doing that today. You're just doing it in a different way. And you know, when people become real estate agents, some of the best real estate agents will be teachers and they'll be nurses. Why is that? Because teachers understand the value of helping people get from where they are to where they want to be. Mm-hmm. And there's a process in that.
Right.
And what makes nurses generally great and people that come from that industry is they care.
Right.
And it'd be hard to be in the school system for over 30 years and not care. So I know you got a great heart. And
right.
I thank you for bringing that heart here today to us. So David, I got a question for you. You are now in the financial business and you help people with financial planning and financial stewardship. What attracted you to that business? Like, how did you go from teaching to, I know you're a mailman for several years, that's how you've stayed in great shape, to where you're at now, to where you're at now in financial stewardship. How did you get there?
Well,
why?
I still see it as education. I still see it, there is a need. Most people have many false assumptions. Mm-hmm. The world operates on false assumptions. So we're trying to correct some of those, trying to correct some misconceptions about insurance, misconceptions about investing. Mm-hmm. So we're just trying to get the word out.
Gotcha, man.
Inform everybody.
Right. Well, finances is a big deal, right? Like, you know, I like what old Zig Ziglar said. You know Zig? Mm-hmm. You heard him. Zig said, you know, finances ain't everything, but it's just right up there with oxygen on the you got to have it to live scale. And right. So it's a big deal. Finances is something that we kind of play down, but it's actually very important to be a good steward of finances.
Well, how many things can you survive without money?
It's just, you know, not too easy, not too easy. And you grew up in a time when, you were sharing a little bit earlier today, but you grew up a time when things were a little harder too, right?
Definitely. I mean, of course, you know, we had a good life. I can't complain, but everybody was in that situation. Right. We didn't think about it. It was survival. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But we made it, and now we have the chance, because of the times that we're in, to maybe do a little more than just survive. Amen, so that's what we try to do.
Yeah. Well, when I look around today, David, and you tell me what you see, I'm asking here. When I look around, I see about 80% of people in survival mode financially. A lot of single mothers, a lot of just, you know, maybe, unfortunately, in no judgment, divorces. And now they're just kind of able to get by, but that's about it. And they almost forget to breathe.
Right.
So you're able to help people now in their finances. Looking back with the kids that you were teaching, you were helping them get an education, but do you feel like the school system has done a good job with the financial part?
No. School system doesn't teach finance. Mm-hmm. We used to have programs where we'd at least teach a child to balance a checkbook. Mm-hmm. I don't think they even do that anymore.
Which is insane.
Right. But, you know, and I think you're right. You know, I think we're in survival mode. 75 to 80% of the population would be bankrupt if they didn't get their next paycheck.
Yeah. And it's just, I see it today more than ever. I think with some of the current events going on, you know, it's even harder for people because everything has went up a little bit, except for pay.
Right. Exactly.
And the people that are financially astute, they will tend to get ahead even in tough times, but the majority of people end up falling further behind in a tough time.
Right.
So speak to that a little bit. Like if you're that person right now that you're feeling it, you're in America, you're feeling it, what advice would you give them?
Hang on.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Biggest mistake we make is bailing out. If you're invested and you bail out, you have solidified your loss. You have no chance for gain. So hang on. Mm-hmm. The market has proven over the years It goes in cycles, up, down, and it will continue to go in those cycles. We may have a terrible crash, but it will come back.
Yeah.
So hang on.
Hang on. Hang on to that job you got.
Hang on to what you have.
Yeah. Don't let go right now. Keep pressing and keep doing what you're doing, and know that eventually things will get a little easier. And when you do,
Then
if you got a
can
little
take
extra,
advantage.
maybe invest a little bit
Right,
at that time.
right.
Got you, brother.
And I'm a firm believer. You don't quit a job till you have a better job.
That's so true. That's so true, man. I 100% agree with that too. So, David, you've experienced life in all different aspects, from teaching to mailman to now in financial services and back in financial services. What the people that are winning at a high level, the ones that have kind of got themselves out of the pile per se, what are you seeing them do? What do they do different? What's the characteristics that shape these people?
Plan, prepare, execute.
Woo! Plan, prepare, execute. I love it.
That's what we have to do. It goes without saying, I didn't say this, but learn. You have to learn first.
I've always heard this, Mr. David, before you earn, you got to learn. You got to put
Exactly.
that E in front of that L.
Right.
You got to put that L in front of that E before you earn.
And it's a related process. If there's a get rich quick scheme, we know what that amounts to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, if it's too good to be true,
It's not true.
amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I like about you, David, is that you're rooted and grounded. You're in the community. You're never going to lead anybody in a way that you didn't think would help them. That's just not who you are.
Right.
And a lot of these people are flighty. You do got to be careful. You got to keep both eyes open because they don't have roots.
Right.
Why did you choose New York Life to go to work with?
Well, I worked with other companies. There's good and bad in all industries.
Sure.
Whatever you want to say. We can't all be at the top, but I chose New York Life because it is in the top 4 in the industry.
Okay. Okay.
They have a great training program. They educate you. I went in later in life, which gives me a different perspective than most youngsters starting out. For people starting out, suddenly being told, if you don't produce, you don't eat, that's not a good situation.
It will make you go out there and sell maybe when it's not even what's best for the client, right?
It forces you to.
Yes.
Because you got to eat.
Yes.
And if you can't eat any other way, we're going to do something.
Yeah, that's true.
And, I made the statement, of course, later in life, my financial situation was not too precarious. So I told him, I said, I'm not going to starve to death. I'm not going to go bankrupt, even if I never sell a thing.
Yeah.
So that's my philosophy.
That's good.
It's like work. Work because you enjoy, not because you have to.
Oh, I love that. Work because you enjoy, not because you have to. That's so good, David. It's so good. And it's so good that you coming from a place of where you really are able to care and choose to care. And when you looked at New York, they were in the top 4. Obviously, you could have went anywhere, and you chose this company to work with.
Well, I worked with one of the other top 2 at one time.
Yeah.
And I worked with someone further on down the line before too. So I've been at both ends of the industry, and I prefer the top end.
That's good. That's good, man. Yeah, and this may or may not relate, and maybe I should or shouldn't say this, but going to work for 𝐃𝐚𝐯. When I first started, 𝐃𝐚𝐯 was the company that recruited me. Then I went to Century 21. Then I went to kind of an off-brand. Then I came back to 𝐃𝐚𝐯.
Found out what was what.
Yeah, and it was, the thing about 𝐃𝐚𝐯, Mr. Cry and his wonderful wife, Lisa, what we learned about them was they really did believe in coaching and building up and training people.
Right.
And it's hard to find that in just any industry.
Right. Most people, the outlook is, I want you. Now, what can you do for me? If you can't do anything for me, I don't want you.
See ya. Yeah. But generally, people come in kind of maybe not necessarily trained, maybe good common sense or some worldly sense, but not trained in, because really you've got a lot of good tools in your tool belt with New York Life that you can offer people. David, go back with me. If you could go back to your 35, 40 years old. I'll be 50 in July. But let's say you could go back to, those years in life, 35, 40. What would you have started doing then a little differently with the knowledge you do now have?
I'll tell you my $200 mistake.
$200 mistake.
Yeah, I made a $200 mistake. I started out in education, young man, fabulous salary, $7,300 or $7,500 a year.
Oh my goodness.
That was my salary.
Wow.
Out of that salary, I was doing $200 a month into an annuity.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew what it was for. I knew what I was doing and all of this. So I did that for about 2 years on that tremendous salary.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of that 2 years, I said, I need my money. And I took it out.
Oh.
That $200 mistake cost me over $1 million.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the type of thing we can get into by not thinking, not knowing, not educating ourselves.
wow.
So I try to avoid that type of mistake.
I love that, man. I love that. So I didn't mean you hadn't sat here and talked about any of the questions I was going to ask you.
No.
And this is pretty impromptu, but that was some great advice. So don't pull, and it's almost like what you started with. Don't pull out during hard times.
Right.
Ride through it if you can.
If I'd followed my own advice at that point,
You'd no telling where you'd be.
right.
And,
I might not be out here selling insurance.
Here's the thing. I think you would be, because I don't think, like you said earlier, you're not here because you have to. You're here because you want to. But you wouldn't have had that story to share with guys like me or people listening. David, tell us, what would be an ideal client for you? Who are you looking to work with? Who do you want to serve right now?
Well, I like brighter clients.
Mm-hmm.
Clients that are not set in their way where they cannot change. We know there are people like that. I like to start retirement planning with the 30-year-olds. I don't want to
start with the end in mind, right? I've always heard that. If you're going to write with the book,
start where we're going to be, and here, we're going on down the road. I'm not interested. I can't do anything for a person that's 2 years from retirement.
Mm-hmm.
They either have it or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell them, yes, you're in good shape, or no, you need to do some other things.
Mm-hmm.
I can identify the weakness. I can't correct the weakness at that point.
At 2 years, yeah. Well,
Right.
2 years later.
But with a 30-year-old, I have time to work on that. I have time to get them on up and, take them through the process. And we're a great believer in process. You have to have a method to your madness. Why you're doing this, why are you doing this? So we try to follow the method, follow the process.
I love it, David. So ideal client, 30 years old or so.
Well,
Could be a little older, could be a little younger, but somebody that you could work with that's shapeable, that you could say, here I am, enjoying life very healthy in my 70s, but I want to help you because I know what you're fixing to go through.
right. I've been there and done that. Let me talk to you.
Yeah, yeah, and you have that wisdom, and you also have, with New York Life, the package to be able to help them, the tools and the vehicles to get them where they need to be.
Right. We have the products. People are maybe down on the term insurance, but the word itself, what are we doing? Insure, insure, make sure. And, mention the difference in companies. Some of the big financial houses, brokerages, that type of thing, use New York Life products. People don't know that.
Right.
I mean, it's not just us.
Sure.
They're in the market wherever.
Well,
and we're a stable force in the market, put it that way.
to me, David, and hopefully to our listening audience, it's obvious that New York's attracting good men and women to go work with them. I've met others that are in your group that have been there 20, 30 years that started and will retire in New York. So it attracts a good group of people.
Yes.
And David, if somebody that's listening today wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Call my cell phone,
Okay.
931-252-2612. I will answer.
All right. All right. So guys, that's how you get a hold of this man right here. I suggest giving David a call, especially if you're thinking down the road. He's an educator. That's his heart. He loved educating children and teachers. And today he's getting to do it in the financial vehicle. So I think he's somebody that would definitely add value to you. If we can be any help, Give us a call here at Elevate Real Estate, 931-283-2312. If you need to get a hold of Mr. David, we'll have his information provided as well. Thank you.